Hey, this is Brian from the Verve Pipe, and we're in the hang. Come on along. From the first song, Super Gig, to the very last song, La La, the theme is our band. I mean, that's why we're going to name it. The album is named just the Verve Pipe. Not just the Verve Pipe, the Verve Pipe. I just want to make sure that. So that's why we did that, you know. And, you know, the covers of a dissected frog, you know, it's really getting inside of the band. Every one of these songs is about our band in some way, you know. I bought a bed, finally. I used to just have a bag and I'd sleep on the bag as my pillow, but I actually bought a bed. That's probably the major change in my home life. Unfortunately, though, I designed the bed myself, and I told them, you know, I want the bed like 3 feet off the ground. Well, to them, you know, this was the frame, and so they built the frame 3 feet off the ground, and then you have the box spring, and then you have the mattress. You know, and I'm 6'5", and still, you know, the bed comes up to here on me, so I have to like, it's like climbing the Great Wall or something to get into my bed. But once I'm up there, I'm the king of that room. The guys actually in Kiss, Gene was very good about, he'd be outside of our dressing room and he would come in and he would say this or that. He'd hear us, you know, arguing or something, you know, and he'd come in and he would say, listen, this is the way it is. This is what you have to do and all this. In fact, one time he actually came in to the back room. We were talking about playing the old stuff. And some of the guys in the band didn't want to play the old stuff. We were going home to play, you know, Michigan shows, and some of the guys were, I don't want to play that old shit, you know. And the other guys were like, a couple of guys were like, well, we got to do it. Well, Gene heard us arguing, and Gene came in, and he was full makeup. It was right before he was going on stage, and he came in, and he ducks in to get into the room, you know. And he's like 7'5" or something, right? In this, so he ducks in, he comes in, and he's like, you know, you guys gotta play the old stuff for the fans, you know. You think I like playing that I Was Made for Loving You disco crap or whatever, you know? And he's like, but we play it for the fans, you know. And he gave us like a 10-minute speech on it. Oh, I did a movie called Roadkill that was independent. Just a friend of mine had said, you know, my friend's a filmmaker, and you should just read this script that he wrote. And it was just fantastic. It was very funny, and I didn't know him or anybody else. And you know, he had gotten a budget, I think, from Miramax to try it out. It was like, I think it was like $200,000, $200,000 or $300,000. So I mean, I flew. I paid my own way and everything just to be in this thing. This great character of a country singer who's just horrible, but he's such a friendly guy, and you know, he plays in the same club every night in Texas, and but he's just really bad. He's the kind of guy that stops in the middle of the song and explains things about the song, you know, right there on, you know, on stage. And I just thought, I got to play this. I know this guy. I know guys like this. I threw my swung my guitar into the TV at the hotel in New York out of frustration. That was the rock star moment for me. It probably would have been really rock star if I wouldn't have taken the time to like get the remote and turn it on. Just so I could see the sparks, the heat of passion. Oh, what was that remote? There's two things that I'm the only one. I'm the only one that right now doesn't like the internet or like to get on the internet. And I'm the only one in the world that doesn't like Led Zeppelin.
It's a really dense record. It's almost exhausting to listen to. There's a lot of information in it, and it's certainly, our band has always been, I don't know, we've always kind of been accused of our material not being real not being easily grasped in the first listen, and this record, I think, is certainly along that line. Thank God, you know, we have the two beautiful blonde men in the band, you know, and so because of that, I think the other three of us kind of go largely unnoticed, you know, and as far as that goes, it's totally fine by me. You know, I don't really, the only way my life changed, as far as my home is concerned, was the fact that I didn't see it. You know, we were constantly out, you know, for the better part of, good Lord, what was like 3 years. I was sitting in a chair, and he was like right here, and I was trying not to stare at that big shiny codpiece thing of his. But anyway, he's telling the story, and he gets done with the story, and he's like, well, you know, I should go. I have to go. And he turns around and hits his head on this door jamb thing. So every piece of magical wisdom that Gene bestowed upon us that day was just totally shot to hell. I've produced a couple different bands at home, as has Doug, as has Donnie, who's been writing with other people. So I think it's healthy, and certainly I think, it affords us the opportunity to come back a little stronger and more appreciative of what we have. Second song into the night, my rig goes down. Nothing. And I'm fighting with it the whole time. And at the end of the night, I've never done it before. I destroyed a guitar on stage. And then after that, went into the dressing room and threw a bottle of Newcastle at the mirror. And I just felt shamed because of it. I think overall, the dopiest trend is I think people just need to start writing their own material.
A lot of the guitars are processed. There's a lot more keyboards. The drums are in the back a little bit more, serving the song instead of pounding at you. Although there are moments of that, and there's a lot more harmony on this album than there is on the last one. I called the drum shop to buy a drum head that they didn't have. I was going to my hometown, and the guy said, "Yeah, is Kirk there?" I said, "Who's calling?" This is Donnie Brown. He's like, "The Donnie Brown?" And I was like, "Oh God, is this a guy like from my hometown that I still owe money to or something?" I was thinking about anything. Did I hit his car once and take off or something? Anything, all these past sins from my hometown. But he meant it in an endearing, celebrity way. I'm a big Kiss fan, so it's amazing that I never saw them before this. I mean, I've seen video, I've seen like a bootleg of the Kiss Alive shows in Cobo, and my brothers actually saw Kiss played a local community college in my hometown of Saginaw, Michigan. They played Delta College, and they did like my brother brought home, I was thinking of playing drums. I didn't even play drums, and he brought home the glitter when Peter hit his drums, and this glitter went up in the air. He like got a bunch of glitter from one of the stagehands and brought, "This is the glitter from Peter Criss's drum set." I'd rather concentrate on the things that matter to me, or will probably most matter to me in 5 or 10 years, and that is the music. I'm going to go back and I'm going to listen to these albums, and if I don't have something on that album, or if I don't have something that's recorded that's going to live longer than the band, or longer than me, or longer than anyone, I'll be very unhappy. People have such a twisted idea of what you do. They think that you just drive up in a limousine, you go and you play, they fill your pockets full of cash, and they send you out with naked women in the back of the limousine after your show, and it's just like, yeah! But, I've had a couple of those nights. Boy bands. I've had it with them.